Welcome to the Bull and Bear Show, episode number 9, and we are definitely in a bull market. I'm here with Blaze, my very special co-host. How you doing today, Blaze?
I'm doing okay.
Oh man, what the heck happened there?
That's what you call don't let a dog follow you in the house when you're shutting the door.
Oh no, that sucks, man.
I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Oh, I hate when I get injured. That really, really sucks.
But it was a family day today, as usual, and a long day, and we got through it. And I just put a splint on, so I'm good.
You're a champion. I think we're going to have a couple guests joining us as well. I believe we'll have Market Maverick and Nash Cowboy joining us today for the first time. Before they even get started, we've got a great show. So many different things that we're going to talk about today. The news is crazy. There's so much news, and it's usually not like this in the summertime. And we also have records. Apple hitting all-time highs. We're having McDonald's hitting all-time highs. NVIDIA hitting all-time highs. Microsoft hitting all-time highs. Bitcoin up big this year. Ripple, and that's going to be one of our topics we're going to go to right off the bat. Ripple, and I want to get your opinion on it, so we'll just go there right now. Here we go. So I want to talk about this right here. So the big news is Ripple right here. Ripple lands and notches landmark win in SEC case over XRP cryptocurrency. So this was the biggest news that really set Ripple going crazy. And I just like to know, what's your opinion? Like, did you buy some Ripple? Are you holding Ripple? Does this make you want to buy? As an American who couldn't buy Ripple before, is this something that makes you want to buy Ripple? Is this something that has changed the game for you as an investor in Ripple, as an American that couldn't buy Ripple before and now is able to buy Ripple on Coinbase and other platforms, crypto.com? What do you think about this news?
Well, I'm ecstatic because our co-host Mark, right? He always talks about it, and I'm sitting over here in America, can't do nothing with it. And now, all the ones I had to get rid of months ago, right? I can actually get back into investing through it. I think it is moving up to number 3 crypto for me. So it goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Ripple. As an American, we're all psyched. We all bought some, and we're going to buy more. The thing that stunk is that we have to watch the rest of the world do it when we know, America uses it with our banks,
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy time. And,
I just feel something good out of it, Rich. You know what I mean? It was a long battle, right?
Yeah.
And they win. So when people win against the SEC, that tells you one thing: buy.
Yes, I agree with you. And I can't even tell you guys how many times everyone was saying in the group chats, Rich, can you buy me Ripple? Rich, can you buy me Ripple? They wanted me to buy it for them.
Yeah, we all wanted you to, remember?
Yeah, because you guys couldn't
just
buy
can't
it.
do it. You can't do it.
You guys couldn't buy it in the US, right? So I was just like, you know what, guys? I'm sure once the rule is positive, which it now is, you're going to be able to buy Ripple. And boom, right away, Coinbase gave you the ability to buy Ripple, and crypto.com gave you the ability to buy Ripple. Kraken,
and that's the best way to do it, right? Wait until they win, because you can't go out buying it for 20 of your friends,
Of course. It's just too messy.
You got a portfolio.
Yeah, it's too messy, and I didn't want to get involved, right? Like,
it would have got messy for you, because you would have to keep track of, all right, I bought X amount, sent it out to people. Where's your tax money? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And we get taxed really, really crazy here in Canada, so it's not like a joke. It's
right. And I'm glad you didn't, because it keeps us doing the right thing.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I never want to take anyone's money. I'm investing for myself. I think everyone should invest for themselves. Everyone should be learning in 2023 how to invest on their own. And that's a big part of what crypto is. And that's a big part of what crypto has given investors, is the ability to have a decentralized way to send money without any government or any bank intervention. That is the beauty and the technology of the blockchain. That is the game-changing
Absolutely.
technology of the blockchain. That is what makes the blockchain so unique. And the single greatest token and coin that gives banks the ability to move money, large amounts of money, instantly and for little to no cost is Ripple.
Mm.
And that's why this is such
You're
a
talking
huge,
fragments, man. Like a
and that's why
bank.
this is such a huge landmark case,
Yeah,
right?
like if you take your money off Cash App into the bank, they charge you a bunch of money. If you take it off PayPal, they charge you a bunch of money. You know what I mean? Send back and forth business wise, they charge you a bunch of money. If you do it through Ripple, you're paying fragments.
So this is what came out after the big news. So first they came out saying that Ripple is not a security, and Ripple went through the roof, Stellar Lumens went through the roof, Bitcoin jumped, all cryptos had a nice move. And now, only a few days later, the SEC is saying that, well, the Ripple price went down 12%, and the SEC said that regulators, that they will appeal the judge ruling. So this is not over. This is not over. So XRP is not out of the
They're
woods
only
yet.
stalling because they have to pay a bunch of money that, you know.
So you think that this is not going to have any effect on the ruling?
No.
You think the ruling is done?
Once the judge in America hits that gavel, bro, the SEC has to come up with something very strong to open it back up. No double jeopardy here. They have to find a different case against them. And then the SEC is going to fire back and sue them and say, look, you're putting us on hold. You're stalling paying us what you owe us. You know, they don't want to pay the bill. They owe a ton of money. So the only way to stall them from having to distribute that kind of money right away is to keep it going, you know?
Yes.
And that's the only thing they can do right now. They're kind of crawling.
It's a very crazy situation because I heard that Gensler requested for like $2 billion for the SEC. And I'm like, how much of that money is going to go to Ripple?
Oh,
You know, they're literally
million at
requesting
least.
for money to do their business. And I'm thinking, how much of that money is going to go to Ripple? And
if you keep
why
on doing
are
this
they
to Ripple, they might end up suing the SEC, you know, and the 200 million can turn into the 2 billion.
Yeah, I mean, the longer the SEC drags this out, the more money they're going to have to pay Ripple at the end of the day, unless a judge decides to change their mind and maybe to get a different judge and
A
maybe
judge to overturn another judge after 2 years of almost 3 years of mess, bro. They're going to probably be like, wow. Too many people involved in Ripple right now. Everybody's buying it. It's allowed to be bought. And if this goes backwards again, there's going to be a lot of angry people, including government officials, you know?
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, I think you just have to take the loss.
I think Ron might have something to say about it. You know
I think they just have to take this loss, right, and move on. I mean,
the only thing they're doing is stall. The only angle I can see, Rich, honestly, bro, they're trying to put a stall on the payments, you know, and it's a legal way to do it, you know.
It's a very big piece of news because it's affecting the entire crypto market. We're going to look at the price of Bitcoin and we're going to look at the price of crypto. So here's Bitcoin, and you can see I've marked this up. And Bitcoin, this is the yearly chart. What does this look like to you, Blaze? I mean, that is an amazing chart. That's Bitcoin.
Oh my God, that's the chart you showed me months ago, way back down at the bottom, where you showed me with that bar right there. And everything you showed me months ago is happening.
Yeah, and I told you that we're hitting a bottom, and
you showed me all that to the right. So if you want to go to the first dot in the very beginning of that line, right?
Yeah.
The first red dot where it goes green and skyrockets, right?
Yeah.
You showed me the Fibonacci of how that line is going to go up a mountain, right? Remember, it went past all the things, and you said when it gets around here is a good target. Look where that thing is. Rich TV called that. He called
it's an absolute beast. And the crazy thing about Bitcoin is,
I think you called that when it went down to $16,000.
But look at this. this here, this is a very point. This is the last month. So we jumped up right at June 16th. So June
Incredible.
16th, 5 weeks ago, is when Bitcoin really jumped.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to this zone here. And this, I think, is a very important
There's your
zone.
plateau. There's your plateau of stability right there.
That's the new floor.
That's the new form. And that red just dipped below the line means to me, I need to buy.
Yeah. So this is the new floor. So the new floor is between 29,500 and about 31,800. This is like the new zone that
Where
it's
I'd
been
say
trading
it.
in
Yeah.
for the last 4 weeks. It's been in this
Mhm.
zone. Okay. It's
Healthy
been going up
plateau.
for
No
5 weeks,
resistance.
but it's been stuck in the zone for a month. So it's a very key zone.
Look how
Very key
healthy
area.
that is, too.
Yeah, this is a
Very
very
healthy.
key zone. This is a very key area because if we can break this resistance, this 32,000 resistance, we're back. We're back in business to like
You'll get
35,
another one of
40,000.
those green candle runs right there, and it'll go up back up to 50 or 60.
Like when you look at the chart here, I believe where we are here is where we were right here. Oh man, if I can circle it. Let's see if I can circle this for you, show you what I mean. Hold on. Circle, perfect. I believe this right here, this zone,
Yep.
is the exact same as this zone.
I agree.
So look at how this went up. It did a little dip and then skyrocketed. I believe this is the
Small
first,
dip on a plateau, then skyrocketed. I
that's
see
the
what you're saying.
first pump. That's the first pump. And then there will be a little bit of a pullback, which we're kind of seeing right now, right? And then there's going to be a skyrocket. And I believe that skyrocket is October, November. So
I'm with you on November. I agree on November.
So I'm going to draw this out where I believe it's how it's going to play out. Let's see here. I think we're going to see it go like this. And then you're going to see this. That's what I think we're going to see.
Remember the last time you showed me that when it was 15K? It did that.
Yeah, and this is just based on the fact that we're going into the high season for Bitcoin, right? So if you look at the zone, we are literally at the beginning of the explosion that happened last time. And what caused that last explosion? Bitcoin halving. And what's coming up in March of 2024? Bitcoin halving. So that is why I believe this is just the early pre-buying before the big fireworks. So we haven't even started the fireworks. And I'm looking at some people that are predicting that this thing could go to like 400,000. There's crazy predictions coming out. In fact, Kathy Wood just predicted that Bitcoin could go as high as 1.5 million now. She's predicting that Bitcoin could go as high as 1.5
Look, when that
million.
woman speaks, a lot of people listen.
That's right. And she's got a massive fund, which is doing extremely well this year. And Bitcoin is one of her largest investments. And she's also heavily invested in Tesla. She's done extremely well with Tesla. And she believes that the price of Bitcoin can go way higher. Way higher.
She's predicting the president of the United States in her head. And we get anything like Trump or Santos. Does Santos in there? It's going up, dude.
Oh, man.
The American public will dump all their money right back into Bitcoin. Right now, the multi-millionaire billionaires out in the United States, they're waiting on it, you know? They can't do it with what we got going on now.
It's crazy, man. It's just crazy what's happening right now. And
because on a lower level, Rich, I feel the same way because Bitcoin's not my number one investment, but is my final investment.
I think, you know how I feel about Bitcoin. And
it's a bank account. It's a better bank account than putting your money
it's
in
a high
Bank of
interest
America.
savings account, right?
Yeah.
It's a high interest savings account. So this is how I look at Bitcoin. And I think everyone should look at Bitcoin like that. So my next question is, did Ripple win or lose in court? And Amanda actually said this. They didn't really win. They kind of partly won. And I didn't understand what she meant, but I think the more I look into it, she's right. Like, they didn't really fully win, you know? So this isn't really
Okay,
over.
they didn't win because they had a piece going in too, but they won in a sense because we're buying it again in America. So something happened to make exchanges saying we're selling it again. Once an exchange sells it, that means something won there. Okay, so here's the thing: the victory was they weren't proven to be a security. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that right there is enough for the public to start pushing back at the SEC. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be there to protect us, and it seems like they're going against us.
And check this out. I'm a huge fan of RFK Jr., who just announced a bold plan to back the US dollar with Bitcoin and end Bitcoin taxes for Americans. Can you
Nice sales
believe
pitch to
that?
get in the office, huh?
Hey, listen, man. If I was in America, which I'm not, I would be voting for RFK because I love the fact that he wants to back the US dollar with Bitcoin. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that is game changing. And the fact that he
He's
wants
not
to
the only
not,
one who wants to do that. DeSantis wants to do that too.
that's right. Hey, listen, whether he gets in or DeSantis, that's bullish for Bitcoin.
Or they team up.
Absolutely. I even heard that RFK could team up with Trump.
That's a statement. Trump can team up with DeSantis. It depends who's got the higher votes and who really wants to be the next president after Trump.
Amanda's saying she
So if
hopes Trump gets in again. And she's in
Trump gets
Mexico.
in again, he's going to pick RFK or DeSantis. He's going to say, hey, which one do you want to be the vice? Because in 4 years, you're going to be the president. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's what's going to go on. And if you're losing, you'd be dumb if you didn't take that job. Because
it's crazy,
Trump,
man. Like, I think it's so exciting that there is a president that wants to back the US dollar with Bitcoin. I never thought this day would come. I think it is glorious. Just the fact that he's even having those conversations. And then it also came out that he owns like a bunch of Bitcoin. I believe he owns like anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. So this is a man who's putting his money where his mouth is. He actually physically owns Bitcoin.
I think those numbers are inaccurate, to be honest with you.
Probably owns more.
The Kennedys are billionaires, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He probably owns more.
I think he's keeping it low because he don't want people to think that he's got a couple $100 million in it because he's just trying to pump up his own investment. You know what I mean? I think he's just trying to show as an investor, and it's a good idea. But if he's a Bitcoiner and he's willing to say that, he wants to do that with the US dollar, he's into it big. Trust me.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I just love the fact that he has come out and said that he owns it.
I love it.
I love it. And the fact that he wants to back the US dollar with Bitcoin
so far we got 3 people running.
Phenomenal news for Bitcoin. Because
We got 3
Bitcoin's about
people
to go
running.
into a bull market, which I just predicted. So with Bitcoin going into a bull market, that's going to help his election.
Well, put it this way. If Trump, DeSantis, and Kennedy does good, people are going to stop buying Bitcoin early.
Exactly. So what I was showing you guys earlier on the chart, that was just like the pre-pump. That wasn't even the pump. And we've had a nice pump this year. We're up 80% on Bitcoin. But the reality is we're going to go up hundreds of percent. Okay? When it goes
That's a perfect way
haywire,
of saying it,
Bitcoin
Rich.
will move. I'm making this prediction. When Bitcoin goes haywire, it's going to start moving by $10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
$10,000 a month. So imagine we're at 30,000.
I think we're going to have months of 50,000.
Imagine when it starts moving from 30,000 to 40,000, 40,000 to 50,000, 50,000 to 60,000. Now you're growing your account by 20 to 30% a month. People will start to chase that. That's just the way people trade. That's the way people do it. That's what people do. Everybody chases.
It depends what level you want to be on. You got to make money on every level either way.
Oh, for
it's how
sure.
long. It's basically how long you can hold it. Are you going to be the one that buys it for 30 grand and dumps it off at 150? Maybe. because the odds of it going back down under what you sold it for are very high, and then you buy it back, and the odds of it going double of what the all-time high was is very high too.
Hey, I
So
think we have the Market Maverick here. Market Maverick, are you there?
it's always the way. Bitcoin's always going to make you money if you believe in it.
Market Maverick, I can't hear you or see you.
Right, Rich?
Hey, listen, man, you know how I feel about Bitcoin. I even got the Market Maverick into Bitcoin. I told him because he's all about Ripple.
You
And he's
got
all
me
about,
back into it too.
and
Snake.
I said to him, I said, listen, brother, if you really want to be a crypto influencer, you cannot be a crypto influencer unless you own Bitcoin. It's just the way it is.
I believe you need to own at least Bitcoin and Ethereum to be a full-blown influencer.
Yeah, like you don't even talk about crypto without owning some Bitcoin.
You need to
Until
own
you
more than
actually
Bitcoin to
own
be an
Bitcoin, nobody
influencer.
will take you seriously in the crypto world if you only have Ripple. Because the reality is the people that own Bitcoin and like Bitcoin, a lot of them are against Ripple because Ripple is not decentralized, it's centralized. Bitcoin is decentralized. That is one of the biggest things that Bitcoin
But
maxis
Rich, you know
have
what's
against
going to go
Ripple.
on. The Ripplers are going to make their money and put it into Bitcoin, bro. It's simple.
Hey, I just think that everyone should own some Bitcoin. I'm not saying you shouldn't own some Ripple. Ripple was one of my first holdings that I
Right.
really.
We got 5 top tokens, right? That we
That's right.
believe there's 5, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple's up there, and you got to put Cardano in there. But I don't think you will. Some people that I know will, but Binance ain't going nowhere. You got to play with a little Binance too. So that's my top 5. I'm going to give Cardano that nickel bleed in there. You know what I mean? Because if Ripple does good, Cardano is going to shoot. So
100%. I agree with you
and
100%.
there's a lot of people are believing in Solana. We'll go at 6th place. You know.
I like
and then if you
Cardano.
want to play with
I
a
like
couple,
Cardano. I think Cardano, like during the next bull run, I think Cardano is going to do phenomenal.
there you
I
go.
like Cardano. They got a
Right.
big community behind them. I like Cardano. Market Maverick, I know you're having maybe some technical difficulties. I'll let you back in once you can get your
But
screen
Rich, there's
on.
really only like a top 8. But you got to put Polygon in there. You got to put Dot. Poly and Dot both moved up pretty nicely. But out of the 10 majors, you know, the Poo tokens, Dogecoin has established that it's not one anymore. So it's a baby Bitcoin. That's for beginners in my book. And then people are going to play with Shiba. That's another beginner's token. So, I mean, at the end of the day, go look at the top 25 and make your choice. That's all I can say.
100%. Yeah, for me,
To
it's
build
Bitcoin and
on.
everybody else. And then it's Ethereum. Those are my top 2 holdings. Full disclosure. Remember, Rich TV Live is strictly for information and education purposes. Please do your due diligence and do your research before you invest in anything we talk about or discuss. Past performance is not always an indication of future results.
Right. This is what
And
we
Blaze
do.
and I are not licensed advisors. So we are not telling you guys what to buy. Okay.
We're
We're just
basically
giving
telling
you
each
our
other what to do.
opinions based
We're telling
on our knowledge in the industry. And I've been in the crypto industry now since 2017. So I've been in the crypto industry for 7 years. I've been in stock since 2007. I've been in
I
stock
came
for
in 2
17
years
years.
later, 2019. I heard about crypto being strong in Bitcoin in 17 like Rich. I didn't take a chance like Rich. 2019, I played with some small stuff. So yeah, we've been around this stuff for a while, and we're talking about it amongst each other of what we're doing. If you guys like what we're saying, investigate, do your own studying, and make your moves. You know, because you can't win if you don't try. You know, but
100%.
like Rich said, you know, we're not professional advisors. We could be privately, but not on open air like this. And we're just talking about what's hot and what's not, and that's it. You guys got to do your studying. I mean, I know me and Rich played a game, and I think we're both in agreement, right, Rich, that we said in the end, most banks are going to put crypto in it, but where are they going to go other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, to be honest with you?
I think that they're going to go to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now
And
if
possibly
everything
Ripple.
and Ripple, now if things go well with Ripple, I think Ripple will be the coin that it will be used. And And this is why I wanted to get Market Maverick on here, because he knows a lot about this. He spent a lot of time studying this. But
Well, the only thing I'm worried about Ripple, Rich, is like banks are using Ripple themselves, you know?
well, this is what I want to talk about next. FedNow. FedNow is finally live in the United States. And from what I've heard and from what Market Maverick has shared with me, it's RippleNet that is being used for FedNow. And it's the Ripple technology and the Stellar Lumens, which is XLM technology, that will be used for FedNow. So that is huge for Ripple.
Stellar
Right?
Lumens was a no-brainer. And you know what? Forgive me for getting about that company out of the top 10, because I watched that whole video about Stellar Lumens. I watched it up, down, left, right. I even passed the test, one free crypto doing it. You know what I mean? Let me tell you, they break it down to a fragment system of 0.000000015 is your fee. Okay, on Stellar Lumens. That's the ripple effect. Like Ripple crushes it. Stellar Lumens, Cardano, like all these security accused are going to be the tokens of the future, you know, for the alt tokens, you know.
100%. We're having some technical difficulties. Market Maverick, we can't hear you or see you.
If he
So
can hear you, tell him he's got to go back out and don't go through Google. Go through like Safari or something. Because that was my problem. Remember, Rich? I got
yeah, you
blocked.
might have to go in through a different browser if you're having a problem with this browser,
Yep,
because we
change your
can't hear
browser.
you or see you. And we'd love to hear from you on this topic, because I
Yeah,
know that
please
he has
fix
a
it. I
lot.
need your info.
So with FedNow happening in the United States, is there anything there that, like, anything new that you can talk about as an American with FedNow?
Yeah. Okay, FedNow is developed, so they want to pay Social Security, food benefits, EBT, and cash benefits to families, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to get the same money, so it don't matter to them. But in the end, it does, because now you can't sell your EBT card. Now you can't take your cash benefits and go buy a TV with it. You know what I mean? So they're going to know everything you're doing, and eventually it's going to cause problems for families, you know?
Hey, we have a cowboy with us.
Hey, Nash Cowboy in the building.
Was
How you
And I'm
doing,
sure
Nash
Nash agrees
Cowboy?
with me on that too, because with FedNow, if they know everything a big family's doing, like I know people shouldn't be doing certain things, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't be able to find out if someone's buying toilet paper. You know what I mean?
yeah. Absolutely.
Nash
Like,
Cowboy, I want to introduce
it's
you
our
to the
money anyways,
community.
right, Nash? We pay
Everyone that
taxes,
doesn't
they
know
take
Nash
that and they give it
Cowboy,
to
I just
people.
want to introduce him to the community. Everyone, this is Nash Cowboy. He is one of the members on LiveMe that has a large community. How many followers do you have on LiveMe, Nash?
About 170,000.
170,000 followers on LiveMe. Blaze is one of the top broadcasters on LiveMe. He's at like 600 and how many? Almost 700,000?
696 now.
696,000 fans on LiveMe. These are the two of the biggest stars on the LiveMe app.
That
Love to
rock
have you on the
together
show here, Nash.
every day.
Welcome to Rich TV Live, brother. We're just talking about Ripple, and I know you've been getting into crypto, and we're talking about FedNow. So what's your opinion on Ripple winning this case with the SEC? You got anything you want to say?
From what I know, they're trying to appeal it, correct?
They are trying to appeal. That's correct.
Okay. So of course they're going to try and appeal it because Ripple is doing things that they don't like and things that they can't exactly control without taking control. The government's always trying to dip their hands in every pocket they can. So they want to be able to track you more and more, and like Blaze said, they want to know if you're buying a toilet paper or a gun or whatever, you know. And I think it's a huge win for Ripple, winning the case. Hopefully the appeal won't go through. As long as the appeal doesn't go through, I think there's no limits on Ripple. You can see an easy $25 Ripple up to the $45 range.
So Nash, one quick question. You weren't here when I gave
Hold
Rich
on one
my
second,
answer.
real quick. Market Maverick, you're here.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I
There
was
he
having
is.
site permissions problems.
Yeah, that's what I had.
No problem, man.
So
I'm glad to have you here. Look, we got a
Nash
full house
something.
here today.
When
We
you-
got two.
How's everybody
Canadians, we
doing?
got
Sorry
two
I'm late. I
Americans.
had a little issue I had to take care of.
Hey, you're better
it's
off
okay,
late
man.
than never showing up.
Hey, you know what? I want to get in because we're all talking about it, and you're the XRP expert. So why don't we just start off by you giving us your opinion on this landmark case?
Let me just put my opinion real quick, so Mark and both Nash know. Okay, basically what I said, guys, is that the United States is notorious for this. When court cases are lost and people owe money, they'll appeal it to stall the payments, and that's the only legal way to do stalling your payments. That you're gonna have to pay fees and stuff that you owe somebody. That was my opinion. I think Ripple is in the clear on the appeal. Is my opinion.
What do you think, Market Maverick?
You know, I was watching this case for about the first day it started till the last day it happened. I paid attention every single day. And the honest truth, the judge never ever liked the SEC. She was always siding with Ripple the whole time. Whew, sorry, guys, it's 30 degrees here. And I gotta say, if they have an appeal, I don't even think the judge will approve it.
I hope you're right, man. I know that's what Blaze is saying. Blaze is essentially saying the same thing. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
It would be great.
You know, I believe I'm right. Sorry to interrupt you guys. I believe I'm right because the FedNow system, the FedNow went live yesterday, the day before, and these guys have been waiting for the SEC and the Ripple case to end. And the reason I know this is because the FedNow system is piloting Ripple's technology in order to use the FedNow system. So Ripple is needed, and XRP Ledger is needed as well for Volante technology system. It's called the Ripple module processor.
Yeah.
And that allows the FedNow system to use XRP. Now, XRP can't be used in CBPR Plus in England, and it can't be used for central bank digital currencies without clarity from the United States. Now, this distributed ledger technology, they connected Xcurrent and Xrapid to make what's that called? Where not the banks. Oh man, I forgot the name. It's similar to distributed ledger technology, DLT. But during the lawsuit, the judge said that XRP, she didn't say it's not a currency. She didn't say it's a currency. She didn't say it's a security. She said it's not a security.
Yeah.
So it could be multi-utility asset.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
She kind of left it open for that. Yeah, I totally agree.
Sorry, I gotta search up what I was trying to talk about here. What's it called? It's on my YouTube channel.
I don't know. However, I do
Trying to
think
find
that
the name.
I do think that they're gonna continue because they want that control. And when it comes to control, anything can happen. Whether they win the appeal or not, I think they're still gonna try and come after something, whether it be XRP or whatever. You know, they're already trying for all kinds of other cryptos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, however, Ripple's win in court was a huge move because how can you consider, like, as long as the appeal doesn't go through, which I don't think it will, but I do think they're going to try. But as long as it doesn't go through, then how can you consider them a security if Ripple wasn't a security, you know?
Correct.
So the other cases should have no problem winning as well, is what I'm saying. And I think people are starting to see that, and I think people are
starting to get that far.
Yeah.
If
I
I was
think
a
it's
judge,
just
I would
it's
get
just
offended.
when you lose, you always have in America you have a right to appeal, and and when people appeal, even though they know they're lost, they need to buy time for something.
Yeah, and you got to realize, in anything like this, there's smoke and mirrors somewhere. There,
And anytime they put a loophole in Ripple, they're
we do
winning.
not we do not know everything. There is something going on behind the scenes. We can only speculate. We do know that they're going to be affiliated with FedNow. So what's going on? It really is the question. What's going on in the background? Why are they even trying to appeal it? There is something going on. So
There's a lot of something going on. I think that FedNow is a very big copycat of what Ripple's doing. You know.
JP Morgan and R3, they actually had a lawsuit with Ripple. No one really even heard about it. In 2015, you could search this up. I had one of my subscribers do the math, and they were allowed the options. Ripple won the case, but JP Morgan was allowed the option to buy $5 billion worth of XRP. They only purchased $1 billion at 0.0085, under a penny. XRP's at $1 already, and they got $1 billion worth, and they purchased 7 billion XRPs. Now, I started to think, okay, there's JP Morgan and the FedNow. I'm like, and on Ripple's website, it says Ripple Liquidity Hub. So I'm like, okay, Ripple can have Liquidity Hub, let's say 20 billion or 30 billion XRP, where 7 billion went to JP Morgan for them to have a liquidity hub for their banks, and then Goldman Sachs and SBI, they'll all get like 3 or 4 billion, and they can have subsidiaries for they can have currency for their banks. You know what I mean? Like a liquidity hub. And I'm like, this is a good way to do it. And Ripple's website shows they have a liquidity hub for this same system that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, listen, I want to move on to the next topic because we've talked about this for a long time. So let's move on to the next topic, and it's actually just like a little bit of a different spin. It's actually, I want to talk about Messi. So Messi yesterday played his first game with Inter Miami. You guys are in America, and I know you guys are not huge soccer fans, but I just want to know, does this make you guys want to go and watch soccer? The fact that one of the best soccer players ever just moved to Miami and scored the game-winning goal yesterday in spectacular fashion. He scored a game-winning goal, top corner, free kick. Everyone went crazy. LeBron James was at the game. Kim Kardashian was at the game. So many celebrities were at the game. Does this matter to you guys at all? I just like to know.
in my perspective, I'm the least person to ask this question because I don't watch any sports except for MMA fights. I do gamble on soccer here and there on an app, but other than that, I don't even watch the game. I don't quite understand it. It will not make me ever watch a game. I've played a couple soccer games just for fun, but I didn't really enjoy that either.
Well,
How
I'll
about
give
you,
you my
Liz?
opinion. I'm in Florida. He's in Miami. Soccer is worldwide, $1 billion, $1 trillion sport, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, that's going to help the economy. That one single man could help the economy over there.
What do you think, Market Maverick?
I agree. I believe they only got Messi because Roberto Carlos said no. I was always a Roberto fan, bigger than Messi, but I respect Messi because of what he went through and how he got through his illness when he was a child. He was very short and he had a disease, and he got through all that and he became a superstar. So that gives a lot of people hope, that story alone.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
I do think soccer is growing very fast in America. It wasn't always as big as it is in other countries,
Right.
but here in the last 10, 15 years, it's gotten huge, and in the last 5 years, there's a lot of people talking about it.
Well, right now on the screen, I'm showing the World Cup of soccer results because the Women's World Cup is happening right now. Does that have any interest to you guys? I'd love to know. Do you guys have any interest in women's soccer? Because the Women's World Cup is happening right now, and America's really good. The American women is probably the best team in the world. Does that matter to you guys at all?
I love women's sports. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Blaze. You were here first.
Yeah, I'm proud of the women, and women can play sports, and they're showing up. So to hear that the USA women are really doing good, it's good. Yeah, I'm a competitor, bro. You know,
Yeah, the US
I like
the
seeing
US
that,
women's
and
team
it
is
will pull
really
me.
good.
That will pull me to watch a game or two. You know, when I
Yeah,
don't
well,
watch it.
you guys are in America. I would definitely support the US women's team. They're a very strong team. They're a very good team, and they're probably
Absolutely.
the favorites to win the whole thing. They won yesterday 3-0.
Yeah,
So they
that's
won
a
in their
big score.
first game 3-0 yesterday. So very overwhelming result over Vietnam, and they're probably the favorites to win the whole tournament.
Well,
So
glad you brought it up.
again, with me, I don't watch any sports except for MMA fights. So it doesn't matter to me. I don't watch any women's sports. Not that I'm not proud of the women in the sports. I think there's a big issue with the whole women's sports now, with other things added into it. That's a problem for me. But as far as watching women's sports, I just don't do it because all I watch is MMA fights. And to me, I don't enjoy, like, I've seen a couple women's fights. I don't enjoy watching that at all because I don't enjoy watching women get bloody. Like, that's totally, I don't know.
There's a reason why I love women's sports, and that reason is because those women are not trying to enter men's sports. They understand. They want to keep it in women's sports, you know?
Yeah. So that's where I'm at as well. Like, I'm very against the opposite of that. So, it's hard for women in sports right now because you would have men trying to enter women's sports, and I feel bad for them, really. But that's just
Well, the end game is, what do you think about it? Like, besides that, like, you feel good about the women out here in USA getting ready to take it out?
Absolutely.
Well, I just think that people in America should support the American team because they're really good. And if they win the World Cup, people in America should talk about it, and they should get as much credit as they deserve because they are an unbelievable team and they have a very good chance of winning it again. Now, I just want to keep going, guys, because we don't have that much time. So the next topic is The Sound of Freedom. This is the most controversial film ever. Mel Gibson has been kind of attached to this film, but a lot of people don't realize Mel Gibson was not in this film. Mel Gibson did not direct this film. Mel Gibson has nothing to do with this film. He just liked the story behind it because they're bringing attention to a global problem of children and young adults being trafficked. This is a major problem in America, in Canada, all over the world. This is a major problem. What do you guys think about? I'd love to know your guys' opinion about this.
The problem is they're not just being trafficked to people in America; they're being trafficked to people in government. We've got a lot of corrupt things.
Look at this.
It really pisses me off.
I think I'm the only one that's.
Even Trump is talking about it, guys. Trump is saying, "Go watch this movie."
You know, I always had a feeling I think Hollywood is probably the biggest child trafficking agency on the world, bro. The whole world.
Absolutely. So I think at this point I'm the only one that's seen the film, and I will just say,
came out?
Yeah,
I have not seen it yet, but everybody is talking about it. It's been a huge hit in the box office. Mel Gibson is.
Does he name anybody?
I don't know. Nash, does it name any people in it?
I don't think he did straightforward, but he did mention government. But I will say this about the film without giving anything away because I don't want to do that. It is definitely maybe even top 3 films I've ever seen. Wow. Even if it wasn't a true story, it would still be top 3. All right. This
Wow.
this film is so emotional. It takes a lot to make this man cry. I've been through hell in my life. It made me cry. It made me
Wow.
mad. Like, I mean, it made me happy. There was so much emotion in it, and the actors, even the little kids in this film, were phenomenal. Like, and it being a true story, that made it even better. I just got to
And the
say,
film was
everyone
only
should
filmed.
go see
The
this
film was
film
filmed for
without a doubt.
15. The film was filmed for less than $15 million and has already made over $100 million in the box
Yeah.
office.
And if anybody out there can't afford to go see the film, you can go to their website. There are people donating tickets to go see it. There is no reason not to go see this film. You can see it for free. I know I've donated so that people that can't afford a ticket can go see it. I let my 3 oldest children watch it, and they loved it. And it opened their eyes to some things. Some people don't want their children seeing it. I understand that, but in today's society, I think they need to be aware of it. Because it's becoming a dark society more than ever.
It's just crazy because, you know, many of us here, I know all of us except for the Maverick
Wow.
has kids. And I
Sorry,
know
unbelievable,
Mark and
guys.
Maverick wants kids. Mark and Maverick, we haven't heard about your opinion on this. What do you think about this?
With the Mel Gibson documentary,
It's not his documentary. It's called The
No, it's not
Sound of
good.
Freedom. It's a
you know,
documentary on children being trafficked. He's just supporting the documentary, and he's saying that he's getting literally blacklisted in Hollywood because he's supporting this documentary.
Yeah.
that's because a lot of people in Hollywood, for example, you know what I was thinking? I'm just going to give you an example. You know the Island Boys?
Yes.
So personally, I think the whole Island Boy thing, I think they're from Epstein Island. That's the actual thing that I think.
Well, yeah, there's pictures with Epstein and the Island Boys.
Yeah, so I believe that a lot of these people in Hollywood, you know, they have an initiation where they grow up and they go through a lot of things like sex things as children to a lot of the superstars that are older. And I don't
Yeah.
like how the fact that the people that we see on movies every single day are actually the same people that are just big in this disgusting act.
Yeah.
Like why in the world is Mel Gibson even supporting this documentary if he never knew something about Hollywood? And why in the world is Hollywood banning Mel Gibson? Is he speaking the truth or
You
something?
guys got to see the video from 20 years ago that Mel Gibson did when he talked about it.
I seen that.
It's crazy. He does an interview and he talks about it 20 years ago, and he's now finally coming out and talking about it again because he's older now, and he's just like, you know what? I don't really care what you guys try to do to me because I'm pretty much done with it because he's seen too much, and he doesn't want to see any more of it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think this is a sad reality of what's happening in this world. I can't believe these types of things are happening to children or happening to anyone for that matter. And I really hope that we can find a way to get past this one day. I really, really do, because it's sad.
Sorry guys, my phone might turn off on me. It says it's running hot. It's like 30 degrees here.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. No worries. We got you here.
Again, there's no reason not to see it. You can get a free ticket. If you can't get a free ticket, I'll buy you a ticket. It is an amazing film. It will really open your eyes to some things. And you got to understand when you watch it, it's even worse than what you see in the film. That's just this guy's personal story, what he did, but there's a lot more going on than even that, and that makes it even darker. It is there's an estimated somewhere around 2 million children go missing every year. All right,
Yeah,
800,000 just in America. All right.
that's heartbreaking. Now, I just want to move on, guys, because we only got 10 minutes left. So my next topic, will the SEC approve spot Bitcoin ETFs in 2023? I want to get your guys' opinion. Just say yes or no. We'll start with you, Blaze.
Will they approve what?
Will the SEC approve spot Bitcoin ETFs in 2023?
Yes, I believe they will.
I thought they already did.
No, they haven't.
So
They're just accepting the applications right now. They have not approved any of them.
Supply and demand. They're gonna have to.
What
If
do you think, Nash?
BlackRock is applying for it, they got no choice.
The way I feel about it is BlackRock's involved in it, and BlackRock's only lost one thing that they've applied for out of like 500 or something like that, or 200. I think absolutely BlackRock's gonna win one, and once they win one, that's an open gate after that.
I got a question for you, Rich. Do you think that
go
the
ahead.
SEC is going to accept Ripple's IPO, which is going to happen very soon here?
Well, based on the fact that they still are in the process of appealing the court case, I don't believe they will accept it.
Not
Because
yet.
I think they're going to hold a grudge.
So I was reading that judge, they might ask the judge to allow it in the case.
Maybe that's why they're appealing it, because of the whole spot ETF thing. Maybe they're just trying to buy some time until that goes through. Who knows?
Yep.
Well, the US SEC has accepted 6 spot Bitcoin ETF proposals for review, but none of them have been approved. And the SEC takes an average of 6 months to make a decision. So based on when these have been put in, we literally would have a decision right at the end of the year.
Yeah. I think
or the beginning of next year.
I think with BlackRock being involved, they're the largest investing company in the world. I don't think there's any way they're going to lose. They have more money than the freaking federal government does to fight them. So it all comes down to money. He with the most money wins, and BlackRock definitely outlands them in that.
I agree. BlackRock, untouchable. Fidelity's untouchable. You know, if you buy shares in Samsung, you're supporting BlackRock. If you buy shares in iPhone, you're supporting Fidelity. But if you buy shares in Fidelity, you're also supporting BlackRock. And if you buy shares in BlackRock, you're also supporting Fidelity, because they're the single largest shareholders in each other's company. And these guys are unstoppable.
Absolutely, which makes me believe that they are each other's company, just with different names. So,
well, basically they are, is according to the shares that they hold on each other. So they're partners pretty much.
Yeah.
They own America. I mean, America is a corporation itself, where corporations in the world now have more money than governments.
Yes. The largest investor in the debt for America are actually corporations inside America. So when they say we're 40 billion or 40 trillion dollars in debt, whatever we are now, they actually owe that to corporations inside America. More than, like, everybody thinks that China owns us. It's actually American corporations that hold the most American debt.
Yeah.
So,
which is perfectly exactly why they didn't, like, the U.S. Congress was mad at the SEC for the way they were approaching the whole crypto space. It's like, what are you pushing all the capital into the third world countries? What's wrong with you guys?
So I have one more question. I have one more question for you guys. So I've got the charts of the biggest companies in the world that are all at all-time highs. Microsoft, all-time highs. Nvidia, all-time highs. Apple, coming off all-time highs this week. McDonald's, all-time highs. So my last question for you before we say goodbye, it's a Saturday, it's a weekend, and I appreciate you guys all being here. From we got 2 Americans here today, we got 2 Canadians here, and everyone that's watching all over the world on all the different platforms. My question to you guys is this sustainable? We're in a market melt up, stock market's on fire, Bitcoin's on fire, crypto's on fire, Ripple's on fire, Ethereum's been on fire, Bitcoin's up over 80% on the year. Meta has been on fire. Tesla's been on fire. Stocks are hitting all-time highs. Is this sustainable? Does this market melt up continue, or does it end here with all of these stocks hitting all-time highs and all markets getting close to all-time highs? NASDAQ getting close to all-time highs. Dow Jones close to all-time highs. S&P 500 close to all-time highs. Is this the end or does this continue? What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Blaze.
It's the beginning.
Wow. Okay. All right. What do you think?
It's going to be a
Cowboy?
new government coming, bro. New president and everything. Things change in America when we get different faces. If you know what I
I
mean?
agree with you. I agree with
So
you.
obviously, as far as the crypto goes, we got a Bitcoin halving coming up next year, and it's Bitcoin in itself. We know runs the freaking market. Okay, everything kind of follows it. Bitcoin, people see it dropping, and they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna lose some money." No, look at the whole year. Bitcoin's been on an uptrend for the whole year since January.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is the 1 year trend. I got it on the screen right here. So
So
you can see it's been
it's
straight
on an
up.
uptrend since January. It's not
Yep.
going down, and it's only building up to the halving. So this is a good accumulation year. You ain't got nothing to worry about. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a financial advisor, but everything's looking hot, just like it should. And then the
I
Bitcoin
think
halving
that's
will happen, and then that's when you're going to make some money. As long as you
What do you think about the stock market? All those guys hitting all-time highs. Nash.
I
You know,
feel like
Elon Musk said he wouldn't even buy Tesla stock right now.
Yeah, I think everything's at the top. My opinion, guys,
Elon's
everything's
funny.
at the top. If you're in stuff, sell now. The reason is we're at all-time highs, and next week Powell is going to do another rate hike. Once he does another rate hike next week, everything goes back down. Now, that's okay. That's okay because everything's at all-time highs. So let everything settle down for August, slow down for August. We can buy again, and then there's probably either one more rate hike where things will stay slow and volatile for another 6 weeks. And then after that, no more rate hikes. And once the rate hikes stop, that's going to be rocket fuel for the market. That's my
What do you
opinion.
think it's going to go up to?
Well, I think that, with if we have 2 more rate hikes, I think that we're going to see the market really get hot again October, November. And I think we're going to see Bitcoin really explode. And we could see Bitcoin get back to all-time highs by October, November. I really believe that if the rate hikes stop and we get back to either a pause, which is what we're in right now. The market is doing well because the federal government in America did a pause on the rate hikes. That's why everything's exploding. But if they continue to do rate hikes, that's going to be what is going to slow down the market. And we potentially have another rate hike next week. So I believe this is a sell zone. And this is what I want to do, guys. We got 2 minutes left. So one by one, I just want you guys to tell everyone about your channel, where to find you guys, how they can subscribe and follow you on social media. We'll start with you, Blaze.
Oh, well, I'm Blaze from Live Me. You can find me on liveme.com. You can also find me on YouTube, Blaze Invest, and you can also find me on TikTok, Blaze Invest. So I'm here for you guys daily. I'm easy to find. So
We appreciate it.
Tressa, just hit me up.
Love having
And
you
my
on the show,
DMs are
Blaze.
open and everything. Every
Blaze
platform.
is a trooper. He hurt his finger and he's still here. Look at that. Show them your
I
finger,
shut it in
Blaze.
the door.
He slapped in the door and he's still here to do the podcast.
Now I got my pointer.
Cowboy, your first time on the Bull and Bear show. Love having you on the show, brother. I definitely want to make you a regular with us here on the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where anyone that's watching can find you. And guys, I'm also going to put a description in the description of this video. I will put a link to all 3 of your channels on YouTube.
Nash Cowboy. I've been in the social media world for about 4 years now. And on Live Me, I've got about 170,000 fans on there. Go ahead and follow me over there. I just started a YouTube channel, and I'm going to be starting to post a lot of things once I get situated properly. Nash Cowboy on here too. I am the Crypto Cowboy, and all I can say is saddle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Market Maverick, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on? Another YouTuber that's been killing it. And as far as I'm concerned, he is the man when it comes to Ripple.
Yeah, Ripple is my favorite company. It was the first crypto I ever bought. Not only did it make me money, but after reading about the technology, I realized I was in something deep. I'm the Blockchain Breakdown Show on YouTube. The alias is Market Maverick, and I've known Rich for since 2017 now, and he's helped me through a lot of things. and I decided if there's going to be a mentor out there for me, it's going to be Rich. And you know, you guys, I have my link here in the top there. You guys can click the link if you're watching. You'll get to my channel. Personally, I believe that I came a little bit late, but I will say that I believe the SEC is going to lose the appeal because there's so much going at stake with Ripple needing XRP to have clarity, that it just seems to me that it's time where they get clarity. The FedNow system goes live literally a week after they get clarity. And Ripple today applied for a license in the UK where they need XRP to have clarity for CBTR Plus, which is Chaps and Target 2. So you can find me on the Blockchain Breakdown on YouTube. Rich, thanks for having me again. I was late. I'm sorry.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you guys all being here. Love having you guys on. Love to have you guys again next week if you guys are available. And everyone that's watching, if you're not winning, you're probably not watching. We bring you the news. We talk about what is bullish, what is bearish, and what is happening and trending every single day. And remember, there's always a bull market somewhere. You just got to make sure you find it. And we're the guys that are going to help you find it. And thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Blaze, Market Maverick, Nash Cowboy. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great
Much
weekend,
love, brother.
everybody.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We're out. Until next week. Peace.
Mhm.